Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Ivan Stock Talks. And guess what? I did it again. I bought some more Ulty. And before I show you my portfolio, meaning how much Ulty do I own, how many shares do I own, I want to show you that my portfolio is over $21,000. That's why it's not a lot, to be honest, but I literally started using my account not just to invest but to also buy shares, right? And not just putting my 10% or 20% of my paycheck. I'm trying to put into my account basically my entire paycheck because I don't want to just invest whatever is left over. By doing this, it helps me it helps me basically fuse my daily life with my investment. I basically collide or use the best of both worlds, because let's face it, a working class person will have to work years and years and to accumulate $1 million, and that's a great idea, to be honest, and I'm fond of it. But to me, times are changing. People are buying like bitcoins and yield max ETFs and dividend stocks and some growth, but people are trying to diversify because honestly a 9 to 5 job is not cutting it any longer. So like I said, my portfolio is over $21,000, and as you can see, I have SPOG. I have about 256 shares of SPOG, which is like equivalent to VOO. I also started investing in SCHG, but more or less like the S&P 500, but with more growth. I've come to notice that I don't need over 500 companies. 250 companies, the top growth companies in the United States. I'm happy to invest in those assets, in those stocks and companies. And I want to minimum, as of now, kind of get into my 100 shares. And after I get into my 100 shares, I'll kind of start lowering my daily buy, like from $31 maybe to $15 or $10, and kind of invest that money into the S&P 500. But like I said, I want to acquire at least 100 shares of this beautiful ETF. And the moment of the story, Ulty. I own about 775 shares of Ulty. And as you know, Ulty pays weekly. And the reason that I started investing in this ETF is because the dividend payout or distribution, whatever you want to call it. Like, I use this ETF mainly not as a growth potential, even though I would like if it gets a share appreciation, and I don't want those shares to drop so much, but I'm using this ETF in a way to kind of pay off my margin. I am merging my daily life and my paycheck, and I want to fuse them together. So by having this ETF, since it pays weekly, and that dividend that Ulty pays me, I don't reinvest it back. I let it sit there into my buying power because that lowers my margin, right? So I want to keep a healthy margin between the money that I borrow from my assets to, like I said, I don't want to use my entire margin, and if there's a market drop, I don't want to get a margin call. So for that reason, I have this ETF that kind of pays me, and I let that money get set into my buying power, and I do that every single week. Even though I still buy some Ulty, like about $7 every day, because it's lower than my average cost. So once it gets into my average cost, like above that, I stop the daily buy. But once it's lower than my cost basis, then I start buying all over again. And as you can see, last time that it paid me over $75. Prior to that, I had I don't know how many shares, but about 300 shares, and it paid me $32. And before that, $28. And before that, $21. So you see that I keep kind of buying because I want at least, I think I'll be happy with having at least $100 per week. I need to invest more money into this ETF, but like I said, for now I have a daily buy of $7, and I do not reinvest back the dividends into this. I just use it to kind of lower my margin. So tomorrow, tonight, I believe they'll post the dividend payout on my Robinhood account. If you want, I could show you that, and I might post that on my YouTube channel. And whatever the amount is, they pay that money. They pay that money on Friday night, and I love it when it drops my margin. So about $100 as a minimum payment, I think that's great because if they pay me around if they pay me around $100 times 52, that's $5,200 per year. That it goes back into my buying power to reduce, mainly is to reduce my margin. This is my main play with this ETF. I want this ETF to reduce my margin, and every time that I get paid, I also add money into the ETF, into my account. So it's like rinse and repeat. So this is why I started investing in Ulty, and this is like, I like it. I like it. Some people are afraid of it, saying that, if like the NAV erosion and things like that. But I've been in the stock market for a few years, and if I lose, $100, so be it. I learn from it and move on. And but I would never sell. God willing, I would never sell my SPOG and my SSG. Those are my growth ETF, and I would only God would make me sell these ETFs. Only God, not no one else. And yeah, so that's my play on Ulting. If you like what you see, please don't forget to subscribe. Like, comment, and like that I can post on my next dividend payment or on my next buy. Thank you so much, and like always, hopefully I'll see you in the next one.